Every day I see my dream. Every day I see my dream. Every day I see my dream.
Hello, and welcome to the Discovery Channel. I'm your host, Lacy Burkett. Today we are exploring the wonders of the African savanna. The African savanna covers 45% of Africa and 20% of the world. That's a lot of grassland. Most of the savannas are dominated by grass, depending on the species in the savanna, and also the rainfall and type of soil. The savanna has rich volcanic soil, which provides nutrients for the plants, and then the plants provide food for the animals. The savanna has a large range of highly specialized plants and animals. They all depend on each other to keep the environment in balance. There are 40 different species of hoofed animals in the savanna and 16 different species of herbivores. These herbivores coexist living in this one area. They do this by having their own food preferences, grazing and browsing at different heights of plants, and also eating at different times of the day and different times of the year. The savanna has a monsoon season, or the wet season, during the beginning of May and the end of November. During this time, there is 25 inches of rainfall a month. During the dry season, which begins in October and ends in March in the southern hemisphere, and begins in April to September in the northern hemisphere, during this time, there is only 4 inches of rainfall a month. Water, nitrogen, and carbon also contribute to this environment. How, you might ask? Well, that's easy. The water is contributed by rain. Whenever it rains during wet season or dry season, the water will go into the soil and be absorbed by the plants. The plants will then use the water for photosynthesis to make food for themselves. Then the herbivore will eat the plant, and then the carnivore will eat the herbivore. Then the scavenger will eat the remains of the herbivore, and the decomposer will decompose the remains of the herbivore. Then the cycle will start all over again. The water is absorbed from the plants for food, so the water contributes, because if there wasn't water for the plant, then the plant would die, then the herbivores would die, then the carnivores would die because they wouldn't have food, and then the scavengers, and then the decomposers, and so on and so forth. So that's how water contributes. And nitrogen contributes because it helps provide nutrients for the plant. The nitrogen in the air goes into the ground, and the bacteria in the ground fixes the nitrogen through a process called fixation. If the bacteria in the ground didn't fix the nitrogen, the plant couldn't use it because the nitrogen in the air is unusable until it's fixed. So once it's fixed, the plant then absorbs the nitrogen and uses it for nutrients. Carbon also contributes because the oxygen that we breathe in gets turned into carbon dioxide whenever we breathe out. The plants use the carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. The carbon is Now onto the food chain. There are many different species of animals in the savanna. There are the carnivores, herbivores, producers, decomposers, and scavengers. The carnivores are the leopard, crocodile, cheetah, meerkat, lion, and hunting dog. The herbivores are the giraffe, impala, wildebeest, buffalo, baboon, hippopotamus, African elephant, antelope, rhinoceros, and mongoose, and the zebra. The producers are the grasses, ancilla and castilla, which is a spiky tree, and the termites. The decomposers are the dung beetle, fungi, and bacteria. The scavengers are the hyena and vulture. Now onto an example of the food chain. Here we have the producer, the grass. Along comes the zebra and eats the grass. The zebra is the herbivore. Once he has its fill of the grass and is full, he rests. Then along comes the carnivore, the lion. The lion kills and eats the zebra, and once the lion has had its fill, it leaves and allows the scavengers and decomposers to take care of the rest. Along comes the scavenger, the hyena. The hyena eats some of the remains of the route of the decomposing zebra. The zebra will then, the zebra's dead, so then once the hyena leaves, along comes the decomposer. The decomposer is the fungi, dung beetle, or bacteria. Here's the decomposer. The decomposers will then decompose the zebra, and the zebra will decompose into the ground. Once the zebra is decomposed into the ground, the grass will grow again, and the cycle starts all over. Now on to some of the threats that are happening in savanna. The savanna has regular wildfires that are due to fire use of humans. There are also some of the other threats that are happening in savanna are clearing of trees and lands for pastures due to the grazing industries. 480,000 acres alone in the Australia savanna alone have been cleared due to the extending of pasture land. Savanna areas have been cleared of woody vegetation and much of the area that remains today is vegetation that has been disturbed by clearing or thinning sometime in the past. Clearing is carried out by the grazing industry in an attempt to increase the quality and quantity of the feeding food for the livestock. But this is also turning back against them, because they're clearing out some of the land, well, most of the land of the savanna. They are taking up most of the hunting ground for the carnivores. This will then lead to the decrease of livestock for the farmers. The lions or any other kinds of carnivore will then eat the sheep that is their livestock, causing a major decrease of livestock. Looks like that's their plan of increasing food for the livestock is actually turning against them. Well, thank you for watching the Discovery Channel and not MTV. I'm your host, Lacy, and have a nice night.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now.
The savanna has rich volcanic soil, which provides the plants with nutrients, and the plants turn then the bleh. Can you start over?